thank you for tuning in to Planning with Kristen. And the title of this video is a mental health update. If you know me and you've watched enough of my live streams, a lot of times, I think all of the live streams always turn it to the subject of mental health. Every single time. And I am not mad about it. I think mental health and mental illness should be talked about without the stigma, without the shame. And so I decided, when I decided to start incorporating more lifestyle topics into everything PWK related, I knew that mental health would be a huge part of that because, as many of you know, I have 3 mental illnesses. I have BPD, depression, anxiety, and I have links to those things down below for BPD and social anxiety disorder so you can know the meanings of them in case you're a little confused. Because I will, in my mental health update videos, I will refer to a lot of different traits, and I do have a trait video that is on here. So I will link that down below also. So in case you guys are wondering, like, what does she mean by that or something, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, so the videos don't seem forever long to you or don't make any sense. They will make sense if you know what those things are. So at the end of the month, which is we are at the end of the month, today is November 29th, I will come in and I will do a mental health update video just on how my month went. Because I think it's important to update on mental health and mental illness and how I'm doing. I want to use my platform to not only talk about planner stuff and lifestyle stuff, but to bring awareness to mental illness. Because I think with my following, it's important to talk about those serious issues while we also have fun doing the other topics. So I have my book, my mini Happy Planner. If many of you don't know, or if many of you do, you guys know this is my mood tracker. I've done a video on this on how I track my moods and how I track the times. And doing this video is one of the main reasons I decided to track my moods. Because I knew I wanted to do mental health update videos, but sometimes I just don't forget. Like, I don't remember how I felt last week. I mean, I can get a general idea, but tracking my moods and the times gives me a better understanding so I can be more accurate when I come on here and do them. So let's get started with tracking my moods. I've mentioned this before. Tracking my moods is very vital to my mental health and making sure I can be the best functioning person with BPD as I can be. The reason why I track them is because a lot of times, if you have a mood disorder like I do, tracking your moods, sometimes you can find a pattern as to why your moods may switch. For instance, I noticed like the first couple of weeks I was tracking my moods, I was always getting very, very anxious in the evenings. And I think it was because late afternoons when my kids were coming home and then my husband was coming home and then was what's for dinner and going to the grocery store. And so I decided to kind of break those things up. I now like to decide what's for dinner in the morning. You know, I'm texting my husband at work, what do you want for dinner? And sometimes he has no idea, which is typical. And a lot of times now during the mornings, you know, we had a week off, so I didn't really have to worry about picking up my kids, but now I'm getting into the habit of, okay, when my kids get home from school, hours before they get home, this is what we need to do, and this is what chores they need to do, and I try to worry about all stuff in the morning. That when they get home, let's just dive right into it instead of spending time trying to figure out what to do, and then before I know it, it's bath times and time for bed, and I know the day has gone. So I've learned what to do to make my days my evenings not seem as chaotic. Now, does it mean doing that my moods have all of a sudden become better? No. It's not a cure. It's just, if you can fix one problem within your mental illness, then you can slowly fix the others. So let's just get started here. So I do want to go back to like the beginning of November when I started using this planner, and I'm telling you, this planner is great for this journal. Yeah, we talk. This planner is a great size for mood tracking. It is great for self-care. It is also great for journaling. It is great for just tracking things on the go. It's a perfect size for that. So I really like the size of this planner for what I'm using it for. I started using this Halloween. So we're about a month of using this as a mood tracker. So from Halloween to November 6th, basically, I had a very calm week. I had a lot of self-care. I don't think there's such a thing as too much self-care. I think if you've had a hard week, a hard day, or whatever, take self-care and take care of yourself. I mention self-care a lot. And because if you don't take care of this and this, you can't take care of anything else. I have a husband and 2 daughters. And most of the time, my priority is them. You know, my husband could easily work a 60-hour week. And so the last thing he should have to worry about is coming home and, you know, cleaning the house or wondering what's for dinner. And my kids, they're kids. I'm not going to have them come home and, you know, cook and everything. You know, they come home and they have their chores. But the majority of the work around the house is on me. So I have to be able to take care of the house and take care of them. That's just my role as a wife and a mother. And you can call it old-fashioned, call it very 50s or whatever. So, but I have to take care of me because I have to be taken care of before I can take care of anybody else. So self-care is extremely important. And I do plan on doing a video on self-care should be self-explanatory, but I'm going to do a video on what I do for self-care and what you can do for self-care. But in a nutshell, self-care for me is whatever is on my mind at the moment is something I want to do. If it's whether it's watching a movie, sitting down watching a TV show that I need to catch up on, taking a nap, because taking a nap is really good self-care, just going to sleep for 30, 40 minutes or whatever. Also self-care maybe, you know, if you love to decorating your planner. It's just a lot of things. It's whatever I feel like doing at the moment. I will take like an hour to myself to just do nothing but something for me. So I had a lot of self-care that week. I think because the week before I just had a really rough week and I was like, no, this week I gotta take care of myself. So it was a lot of self-care. It was a very calm week. From November 7th through the 13th, Monday and Tuesday I was extremely exhausted. And then Wednesday through Sunday I had self-care. The thing with being exhausted, you may say, why did she need so many days of self-care? With being mentally exhausted, it's like your mind has run a marathon. And a lot of times with BPD, when you become just really, really exhausted, it takes a while to come back from it. So it may take days of self-care, not just self-care consistently, you know, hour after hour. You may take a couple of hours one day and say, you know what, I still need some time to just do what I need to do and do that. So I took some days of self-care, Wednesday through Sunday. So, yeah, and then once I take self-care for a few days, I am just really, really calm. I can go on. I can get back to doing what I need to do. So that was November 7th through the 13th. The November 14th through the 20th, and there was just a lot of stress. I was just very stressed out, and I'm trying to read what was happening. I ended up doubling up on my depression medication, and that was not at a doctor's discretion. That was just mine, and it worked for those couple of days. Don't do what I do, you know. Sometimes I may double up on my meds without consulting my doctor. Is it the best thing to do? No, but you know, sometimes I have to think when I'm in the moment, and sometimes it's a great decision, sometimes it's not. And at the time, it seemed like a good decision, and it seemed to work. So if you're a person who takes medication, talk to your doctor. Don't be like me. And let's see, what else? I was just very anxious, and I was very emotional. Very emotional that week. It was kind of a bad week. It was. And let's see. The 21st through the 27th, which was last week, the week of Thanksgiving, and I was in Vegas, and I was fine the first 2 days we were in Vegas. I was fine. I was just feeling great with my husband, much needed vacation for us. And Tuesday evening, I was feeling a little irritated. I blame it on anxiety because it's Vegas, it's a holiday week, and I was just in a mood. I was in a mood, and I partly know the reason. I was looking for a sweater. I want a really long, oversized sweater. I couldn't find one. So I was irritated about that. And then, you know, when I say we, I mean as in people with BPD. When we're irritated, it's the end of the world. Everything is just irritating. Like, okay, we're irritated about this one thing, but then we'll be irritated at everything else. So with that said, me being irritated about that means I'm irritated about everything, and which makes my husband irritated because he's like, she's in a bad mood. This is irritating. So the drive home was a little irritating. Thursday, Thanksgiving, I was fine. Then, you know, the weekend, you know, this past weekend, a couple of days after, I was fine. You know, once the irritation went away, I was perfectly fine. And that is it for this week. So I have to say overall the month of November, I had a pretty good November. I really did. I had lots of self-care. I took care of myself. There weren't too many days where I was just severely irritated because I can deal with the sadness and everything because I can just do something. It's when the irritation and anger sets in when it's kind of hard to come back from, because being irritated and then going into anger, and anger is a side effect of the anxiety. It's just, it can take you to a really dark place which you really don't want to go. So I didn't have too much anger and irritation. I was pretty okay. But overall, I have to say November, I can't really complain. Only time I would complain about a bad month is if I had maybe 3 plus days in a row where I'm just severely irritated. Because I'm gonna have one day, like I might have a Monday where I'm irritated, then a Thursday, then a Wednesday of the following week. And that's just how it is. But when it's days in a row, it's when I'm kind of like, okay, Kristen, this is a bad week, or this is a bad month because you can't shake this. And that's when I start thinking about, do I need to call the doctor? Do I need to get my meds changed or whatever? I haven't really had to call my doctor and get my meds changed in a while. It's been a little while since I've had to do that. And that's a good thing. So I'm not at the point, I haven't been at that point in a while. It's been like about a good 8 months since I've had to just call my doctor and say, hey, these are not working, whatever. I did get my meds upped, not because of that. It's when I was working at Office Depot. I did get them upped for anxiety reasons, not because I was having a bad day or a bad week. I just needed them up, and I'm still taking the same dosage. I haven't gone back down. So I am good, but you know, I just want to come on to a mental health update, let you guys know how I'm doing. I do plan on coming back at the end of December. I want to just do these once a month in case something drastic happens. Hopefully not, but I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys how I was doing. And this is like really bright. Like my shirt is lime green, but it's looking a little white. There we go. Like, why didn't I have this on before? But anyway, I'm going to get out of here, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments about anything, or anything mental illness, mental health related that you want me to talk about, and I know I like to be educated before I talk about something, let me know in the comments, and I will be glad to answer them. And with that said, I will see you all next time. Bye.